you're gonna go on this by yourself? And I'm just like, should I not? Like, hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, and once this video is over, make sure you leave a like. So this is gonna be a really fun vlog. This is different for me. I've never done one like this before, I don't think. I know I'm always talking with y'all, but this is totally different. So we're gonna do a story time, but we also have a really awesome product that we're gonna talk about. It's the holidays, it's Vlogmas, so I think I'm gonna log this one under a Vlogmas story time. So this video is sponsored by Chico. Chico is an amazing jewelry company that specializes in handmade jewelry with white gold and 14 karat gold finishes. It's made right here in the USA. I love them, I adore them, and we're going to talk about one of their products that they made especially for me today. And I have a really funny story time for y'all, so stay tuned. So before we get into the story time, and by the way, the story time today is about, so if you live in Atlanta, I got on the Skyview in Atlanta for the first time, and I talked about it a little bit on my TikTok, but I didn't finish it. So I was like, I definitely should do a full story time about this, and I'm literally getting anxiety just thinking about it right now. I was so scared, I literally almost threw up. I'm not even joking. It is the craziest story. But before we start that, I want to talk a little bit about Chico and talk about their amazing jewelry products and show y'all the one that I got. I'm literally just unboxing it. I'm so excited, so let's get into it. So Chico is a brand owned by Miss Ella Cherie, and it's an amazing brand that's all about empowering women to be their best selves and their strongest, most beautiful, fierce selves through fashion. One thing I love about their jewelry, just from browsing their collection, is that they have really high quality handmade jewelry with like white 14 karat gold finishes and 18 karat yellow gold finishes. It's really pretty. It gets to you really quickly. It took no time, and most of the pieces can be engraved and personalized with your name, with initials. It's like the perfect gift for a loved one. So I'm going to show you guys what I got. So every gift comes in this special little mahogany box, and what's so special about this box is that it's a light up box. So when you open it, it has a little light in it that literally magnifies the piece that you have. And I'm so excited to show y'all. Like literally, look. So this is my piece, and when I open it, it says "You are enough." Which, come on now, with everything going on, like that is the perfect piece for me. But now I have the necklace on, guys. This one is a white gold finish, 14 karat white gold finish. It's gorgeous. Really like the design on this one. It's a little bit different than most of them. I chose not to get one. I have more pieces, so I have more things coming. This is the first of many, but I'm really excited. It speaks for itself. Do I even need to really say anything? This is the second piece that they sent me. It's a beautiful infinity charm bracelet with a 14 karat white gold finish. You can get any charms on it that you want. I got D and J from me and my son. I'm gonna shop with them. I have a really awesome code for you guys. If you use the code JessicaJ20, you'll get 20% off of your order, which is amazing. Also look in the description box, and I have a URL down there that will link you. And once you click on that shop, automatically the 20% will be applied. Use my code, save you some money, get you some jewelry. Like, treat yourself. Get it for your mom, your girlfriend, your sister, your friends, whatever, for yourself. Like, it's the perfect time to do it. Perfect time, holiday season. Please shop Chico, you'll love it. Okay, so story time as promised. Atlanta, Georgia, right? I love Atlanta. It's my home. I have been traveling back and forth to Atlanta for years, right? Atlanta is literally my home. And one of my homes, but it's my home. So for years I've always been like, oh, I want to get on the Skyview. I always call it the Skyway. Sidebar, I'm a Disney World nerd or a Disney nerd, so I'll say Skyway, and people will be like, what is that? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the thing that used to exist in Disney. If you're not a Disney nerd, I'm not going to even try to explain it to you. So the Skyview in Atlanta, I feel like I need a drink to talk about this, but I just had a lot of coffee, so it's fine. The Skyview is this giant Ferris wheel that's in the middle of downtown Atlanta. It's gorgeous, especially at night. It's all lit up. I'm gonna insert some footage right here so y'all can see it. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Okay, so anyway, I started this story on my TikTok, but I didn't finish it. So I've been trying to get on this thing for years. I remember years ago I went with a friend of mine. I was like, oh, we're gonna get on it and get champagne and chocolate, because they have a romance package where you can get champagne, chocolate, and roses and do the Skyway. And I'm like, I want to do that. And every time I go, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And I could never get anybody to go with me, which always made me really sad. And I'm like, it's fine, I'll do it at some point. This time, finally, I'm like, I'm here, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm here, you know, I'm gonna do this. So I go alone once again because my friends that live there, there's two of them that you just don't, you know, I'm not gonna be able to come. And I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna be spontaneous and go do it. It's nice and cold outside, it's just giving everything it should give. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go get some hot chocolate and get on it. I didn't get my hot chocolate, but I get there, and the first red flag was I walk up to the gate. So there's like an outer gate before you get to the inner gate. And the attendant at the outer gate is like, hi, how can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I want to, you know, get on the Skyview. And he's like, you're going to go on this by yourself? And I'm just like, should I not? Like, mind you, the whole time I had no anxiety about it. None. And I'm just like, should I be concerned, sir? Because if I should be, I just won't go on it alone. Like, I don't have to do this. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go on it. And I started getting anxious. I'm like, oh my God, like what? And then I start seeing the warning signs, like literally, like they're like, oh, if you have, you know, any medical conditions, don't get on. I'm like, okay. And they're like, oh, if you suffer from claustrophobia or any panic disorders. And I'm like, dun dun dun. I'm like, oh boy, I didn't even think about that, because I didn't even think about the fact that, like, it's bigger than a regular Ferris wheel because it's allowing you to see the entire city of Atlanta. You can see everything from up there. It's big. And I just didn't even think about that. And I don't have a fear of heights. I'm a little claustrophobic, but I don't have a fear of heights. So it's just like, I was like, I'm gonna be fine. I'm adventurous, you know. I'm gonna get up there, I'm gonna bring my camera, I'm gonna make TikToks, I'm gonna have a good time, I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna be like, this is beautiful. Oh boy. So I get up to the front. I'm the only one by themselves, feeling very much unaccompanied minor-ish, very much alone, very much abandoned. And so I think about calling a friend, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna freak myself out. I look down at my phone, it's on 5%. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to get in this thing, my phone gonna die, and I'm gonna freak out. And I'm just being there freaking out, rolling around till they take me out. So I go to get in the thingy, the little pod, because it's literally a pod. And they're like, oh, you're by yourself? I'm like, yeah. They're like, you want to do this by yourself? And I'm like, oh my God, what is that? Should I not? Like, am I underprepared for this? So I have a panic attack, but a very concealed one, because I know how to hide them now. And I'm just like, think of something. I'm like, my phone's about to die. And they were like, okay. Mind you, I'm sitting, and I'm like, I need to charge my phone. And they're like, okay. And one guy, I think he can kind of tell I was freaking out. He's like, come charge your phone over here, it's fine. And they let me in like the little security booth, which also was like a pod. It was really cute. And yeah, they let me charge my phone. And the whole time, like, I put it in the little security pod to charge. And I'm just standing outside, and like people are walking past me looking like, why is she standing over there by herself? Did she get in trouble? Did she do something? 30 minutes go by, my phone's on like 50%. I'm like, okay, that's enough to like play music, TikTok, FaceTime somebody if I absolutely freak out. So then I decide, okay, I feel good enough to get on it yet. Then the guy from the front who first said, you know, don't get on, comes back up, and he just looks at me like, she not getting on, huh? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, should I not get on this by myself? Like, what is going on? So I talk myself into it, and I say, all right, I'm gonna be brave, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get on it, I'm not gonna be scared. I was panicked the entire time. I was freaking out silently. I started getting nauseated, my head started hurting. I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. But I said, you know what, because I'm afraid, I'm gonna get on it. The first 5 minutes of this experience was so terrifying. I literally was like, this was the worst mistake I've ever made. So I get in the pod, my phone is charged, and like my brain is just doing this thing where it's like, What's something's gonna go wrong? It's gonna get stuck. It's windy. Are you sure you want to go in here by yourself? What if something happens? So they're like, yeah, you know, you have music in here if you want it, and this is how you turn your light on and off. And I'm like, okay, I definitely want the light off because that bright light is gonna freak me out. And I don't like lights. I have a thing with lights. That's a whole nother story. I don't like bright lights. It upsets me. And so they also say, and here's the panic button. I'm like, the what? They're like, yeah, there's a panic button. I'm like, oh. They're like, yeah, so if you need us, you just press it and you talk. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because apparently people freak out on it. People freak out on it. And I didn't even think about like the feeling of just being on that by myself. It's this little pod, and there's like a middle section, and then there's like seats facing each other, but it's small. So I sit and I say, okay, this is gonna be fun. And so like I go backwards and they lift up a little. I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. I'm pretty close to the ground. This is good. They put me up some more, and I'm like, oh God, I literally braced myself, and I'm like, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should call somebody. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna call anybody, because if I call somebody, I'm really gonna freak out. So I'm literally in there like this. I'm like dry heaving. I'm like freaking out. Once I get all the way to the top, I'm literally like this. I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And I believe I have footage of it. I'm gonna insert it. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but here it is. Oh my fucking God, this don't look. Oh, bitch. Holy fucking shit. Oh, God, 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 God. Oh my fucking God. And the sucky thing was, mine was broken, so I couldn't even turn the light off. Like, the light would not go off, and I was so mad. I'm like, so I can't even fully see the city in the best way, like the bright city lights. I can't even see it because my light wouldn't turn off. So that's freaking me out. I'm like, oh my God, if that's broken, what else is broken? So for a good 3 minutes, I'm just straight panicking. I'm like, do I need the button? Do I need the button? Oh God, I shouldn't have got on this by myself. Lord, why am I single? God help me. Like, I'm just going through everything in my head, like all my life choices. I'm like, Lord, what did I do to get in this little pod by myself? Alone. Like, what? So it cycles a few times, but I kid you not, every time it gets to the top, they literally stop me at the very top by myself. And I'm just like looking like, okay, what's the number in front of me? All right, what's the number behind me? So I know I'm this number, so I know just in case something pop off. Because, you know, I done seen some stuff happen before with another sky wheel in another city. And I'm like, I was thinking of that. And I'm like, oh boy, I didn't think about that. But anyway, positives. It was a beautiful experience. Like, I want to go back on it in one that's not broken with someone. I'm manifesting that. I want to go in there with someone, look at the sky, and just really enjoy it and take it in. I was proud of myself, and I had a adrenaline rush afterwards because I'm like, I was afraid, but I did it. So it was a really good experience. I would recommend that everyone goes and does it, whether you live here, whether you live in Atlanta or not. I think everyone should do it at least once, or any city, any major city, because I feel like they all have them for the most part. I don't know. But yeah, that was my experience on the Skyview. It was fun. I want to do it again. And also, this is a reminder, this video was sponsored by Chico. Please go shop them. Check out their website in the description bar below. If you click on that link, or if you use my code JessicaJ20, you will get 20% off and get yourself some beautiful pieces like this, girl. Made in the US, shipped quickly, gorgeous. You'll love it. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and stay beautiful and blessed. Another healing vlog is coming, of course, right after this. I actually don't know when I'm posting this. But yeah, love you guys. Talk to y'all later.